What is up, YouTube? My name is Dalen, and today we're going to watch TierZoo. I haven't watched this channel in a while, so we're going to check it out. Yeah, it's been a while since he uploaded, so we're going to check out our Mongooses OP. Let's find out and see. Okay, making sure I'm recording. We good. Hold up, my headphones are not. Oh, never mind. It is. I just got it muted. Okay. I don't know why it was that low, but hey. We ball. Gosh damn, bro. What's happening? That nigga is tossing them niggas. Oh my gosh. Yo! That's kind of crazy. That is crazy.
Cats and dogs are both
Y'all telling me,
builds in the entire game.
I think we already found the answer.
But in order to reach that level of success,
I don't think
their
Mongooses
player
are
bases
OP.
need to try out a ton of different strategies. Both caniforms and
These not
feliforms have a powerful solitary tank buster on
that's
their
the monkeys.
roster. They
Chimps.
both have mid-sized scavengers on their roster. And perhaps most interestingly, both developed slender generalist builds with an emphasis
Oh,
on
I'm not even
digging
paying
and
attention.
brash
My
intimidation.
fault, y'all.
They both have and feel of success. Their player base over.
Alright, let's pay attention. Or Mongoose OP.
Cats and dogs are both some of the most overpowered builds in the entire game. But in order to reach that level of success, their player bases needed to try out a ton of different strategies. Both caniforms and feliforms have a powerful solitary tank buster on their roster. They both have mid-sized scavengers on their roster. And perhaps most interestingly, both developed slender generalist builds with an emphasis on digging and brash intimidation. On the caniform side, we have the mustelids, builds like weasels, ferrets, and honey badgers.
Weasel.
On the feliform side, we have the mongoose. Despite being a close relative of cats and sharing a lot of abilities with them, they also have a lot of unique traits that set them apart from every other predator build in the game.
Right?
So
Why do they all
actually
just...
better than their more
Are they NPCs? Well, Mongoose is real. Why do they all just instinctively all just like, you know, do the same do the same animation?
that set them apart from every other predator build in the game.
Oh, this guy's different. Hold on. He might be out of the Matrix. What's going on with that guy?
So are they
He's
actually
different.
better than their more
He
traditional
need to stand
feline
up.
counterparts? Or are their special abilities
That man
just
said, I'm not like y'all.
Today we'll discuss. We'll begin as always with a look at the Mongoose's base stats. Starting off with the Mongoose's intelligence. Mongooses have an intelligence similar to that of a rat, which is to say,
Listen, I can't tell the difference between a mongoose, a
Mongooses
weasel.
are generalists and need to be able to think on their feet in a variety of situations.
There's just
in
too
order
many
to
of these
succeed.
species.
But their best usage
These
of
types.
intelligence is in coordinated team tactics. Team tactics are a rarity in the feliform faction of the mammal player base. But among the small pool of social feliforms,
Interesting, they're part of like the
the
cat build, I guess. The
most
feliform.
obvious example is the meerkat.
I don't know if that's the right term to use.
Specifically in being extra well adapted to work
Not
together.
the feliform, but the you know
Most
cat.
mongooses are at the very least gregarious,
Cat
and
district.
because mongooses are much more vulnerable than builds like the lion or wolf, they need to work together both in order to succeed in hunting and to watch each other's backs and protect each other. Their power stat is pretty mid for a carnivorous mammal, to be honest. Unlike most members of the feliform faction, mongooses do not have retractable claws. They use their claws primarily for
So are they
killing,
like
which
cats?
works quite well, but of course
And more similar to
inevitably
cats.
dulls their claws, makes them less useful for dealing damage. As
I would've thought a
result,
dog.
Mongooses have to rely
I guess
solely
not.
on their bite force to inflict damage, which is unfortunately nothing special.
Oh, somebody said.
Still, it's enough to get
I think it was I'm Dante that said that he thought that a fox was similar to a cat.
the job done.
Nah,
against
come on,
ranged
bro.
targets, which
That's
is really
crazy
all
to
you
think.
need as a mid-sized social.
I thought everybody
It
knew
just
that
means
foxes
they
were
can't
like
really threaten and attack in
similar
play,
to dogs
and need to cede territory whenever pressured.
or the
Now, due to the
caniforms.
mongoose's slender shape, you might assume that similar to honey badgers, stoats, and ferrets, the mongoose sports thick, loose skin that allows it to take reduced damage and avoid critical hits. Unfortunately, mongooses do not have this perk. and need to play a much less reckless game. You might assume that similar to honey badgers, stoats, and ferrets, the mongoose sports thick, loose skin that allows it to take reduced damage and
That's crazy. They could actually take damage like that.
Unfortunately, mongooses do not have this perk
Tank it.
and need to play a much less reckless game than honey badgers in the face of danger. This lack of thick,
honey
loose
badger be
skin
on go.
also makes them less resistant to cold damage, forcing them to stick to servers where ice damage isn't a
They
threat.
actually kind of
One
do
unique defensive
look
trait
like
they
cats
do
now.
have, however, is total resistance to venom.
just based on the way they
Their
move.
blood neutralizes most toxins, rendering them almost completely harmless towards the mongoose. This is the main reason their matchup against snakes and scorpions is so oppressive. The mongooses
Wait a minute, did you just say? Wait, what?
however, stick to servers where ice damage isn't a threat. One unique defensive trait they do have, however, is total resistance to venom. Their blood neutralizes most
Really?
toxins, rendering them almost completely harmless towards the mongoose.
Really
This is the main
interesting.
reason their matchup against snakes and scorpions is so oppressive. The mongoose's
what-
mobility stat is also fairly
Is
mid
there
for
like a
feline.
scientific
While certainly quite nimble
like
and
breakdown of
agile,
why
its
that's the
actual
case?
Run speed is below average
Why
for a
they're
mammal.
immune to poison?
Even discounting the cheetah as an outlier, most cats have a movement speed that is well above average and are excellent climbers.
So obviously cats don't have aren't immune to poison, but are cats more immune to poison than dogs? Is that the case?
The mongoose
Let me know in
can
the
still
comments,
move
or
much quicker than any reptile it might encounter, but compared to
I don't
mammalian
know.
predators it might face,
Maybe
is
it
a bit
doesn't matter.
slow.
Maybe
Its
it's not that
slender
big of a
body and
difference.
shorter
I
legs
don't know.
do not offer any benefits for speed. Instead, this shape allows mongooses to remain low to the ground, taking advantage of cover more easily and also enabling it to access the tight spaces and burrows that its main threats cannot follow them into. Other than their short stature,
That boy was
mongooses don't really
digging
have
in
any
the pot.
major stealth-based abilities that they use, so their stealth stat is only average as well.
I don't know what he was digging for. You can't grab.
Mongoose
You
is
got
truly
balls.
one of the most unique builds in the game. If you watched my last video, you'll remember that I spoke at length how important the house cat's snake-like vertical slit pupil is for ensuring high accuracy on its attacks, which enables the cat to parry and counterattack incredibly
Depth perception.
effectively. Even if they don't have vertical slit pupils, most predators will at least have circular pupils that will allow for optimal forward binocular vision. Mongooses have horizontal pupils. Horizontal pupils do not
Whoa.
enhance depth perception and attack accuracy. Instead, the purpose of a horizontal pupil is to
Would be the
broaden the
opposite.
player's field of view, making
Yeah.
it easier to detect incoming attacks from the side
I
or
assume
from
that was the
behind.
case.
In addition to this unconventional
That's
eye
interesting.
structure,
I didn't know they had horizontal. Maybe I did, but I just forgot.
attacks from the side
I haven't
or
seen
from behind.
these type of species
addition to-
eyes before. Interesting. So they're like frogs, like Naruto.
This unconventional eye structure, mongooses also have an excellent sense
I
of
keep missing the
In addition
prompt.
to this unconventional
They can't have my brand. I specialize. Oh,
eye structure, mongooses also
that's
have an
kinda
excellent
crazy.
sense of smell and hearing. So how well do these stats and abilities synergize with each other? Honestly, it's a pretty mixed bag. Because the mongooses' stats are generally a bit on the low side, they're not able to outrun or repel attackers. Instead, they have to rely on their digging ability for safety. This greatly limits the potential territory they can explore, as if they get too far from their burrows, it's unlikely they'd be able to escape an ambush. It also means that any player with the ability to pursue them into their burrow completely negates their main line of defense. The mongoose's eyesight
They gotta
is
make the
truly
hole
a
smaller.
confounding inclusion in an otherwise fairly standard mesopredator game plan. Now, credit where it's due, the horizontal pupils do offer some extra benefits that synergize well with the mongoose's game plan. They offer a slight perception bonus in bright sunlight conditions compared to vertical or round pupils. Because mongooses are diurnal, in direct sunlight, the tan dirt of the African savanna could impede their vision if they didn't have a way to mitigate it. But ultimately, plenty of savanna builds make do without this, so I have to assume the real purpose of this ability is the expanded field of view, which primarily aids in avoiding ambushes. This reflects a higher than normal vulnerability to attacks.
That's kind of crazy,
which I
bro.
consider the mark of a less than excellent build if I were to
What's the
stop
highest
here.
field of view in
But I do
video
think this
games?
does
Like
have
120
one
or
more
something?
important synergy
Probably
for the
not.
Mongoose's playstyle.
I don't know what it is.
The expanded field of view allows
Like
the
in Call
mongoose
of
to
Duty or
more
something?
easily keep track of where its teammates are,
Maybe get in some
improving its
warfare
ability to
with
coordinate
guns.
with the movements of
They knew
other
how to use them.
mongooses. This is reflected in its exceptional unity and fluidity at which the mongoose teams function. While plenty of other builds engage in team strategies, mongooses are unique in how tight a formation they're able to hold to. This is surprisingly useful for intimidation, as when the mongoose band moves in such tight formation, they appear as just one mass, which can easily confuse and startle large predators long enough to make an escape. So, how does the mongoose fare in its most important matchups? Even deciding which matchups to include was difficult given how widespread the mongoose player base is. But I'll keep things broad enough that it should be applicable to mongoose mains everywhere. Mongooses famously have an overwhelmingly positive matchup against snakes due to their venom immunity. This is more important than it first seems.
Yeah, I still wonder why
you're
immune to venom.
But snakes are also normally the biggest threat to burrowing builds, as they can easily slither into tight spaces and wreak havoc. Burrowing builds that don't possess venom immunity.
I feel like animals are sometimes stupid. Like, why is he here? Why? You don't see the guy that want to eat you? The guy that likes to eat rats and mice? You know, he's right there.
That don't possess venom immunity, like prairie dogs, have huge difficulty dealing with snakes.
I wonder what animals think
So
about
being able to turn this
when they like do
vulnerability into a
certain
strength
things.
plays hugely in the mongoose's favor. Against larger predators, mongooses do struggle. They're the main reason they need to remain close enough to their burrows and party members, as without them to aid in escaping attacks, they cannot defend themselves. So against big cats, dogs, hyenas, and the like, the mongoose player needs to take advantage of all of its outs, and work with its teammates to avoid disaster. Skilled players can hold their own in this matchup, but mistakes will be punished hard. Warthogs are one of the most surprising encounters a mongoose can have. Rather than being adversarial, Warthog and Mongoose players often form temporary alliances. The Mongoose team will cleanse the Warthog player of all
Wait a minute.
debuffs.
Pumbaa! Pumbaa from the Lion King. Oh my gosh. I think, what was that nigga name? What was his name again? Was it Sid? No, it wasn't Sid. King Julian? What was the other guy name from The Lion King? I think he was a meerkat too. Maybe another type of those species. I forgot.
Rather than being adversarial, Warthog and Mongoose players often form temporary
Was it a mongoose? I don't know.
alliances. The Mongoose team will cleanse the Warthog player
That's
of all
interesting.
parasite debuffs,
Is that why they
and in return,
put them together in
while
the
Warthog won't
movie?
really deliberately do anything to help out a mongoose, but simply by tolerating them in close proximity won't really deliberately Warthog player of all parasite debuffs. And in return, well, the Warthog won't really deliberately do anything to help out a mongoose, but simply by tolerating them in close proximity, the Warthog is protecting them. Because they're extremely dangerous and normally very territorial, mongooses are much safer when warthogs are nearby, and can venture further from their burrows so long as they remain
Right? Hakuna Matata.
Birds of prey are one of the most dangerous matchups for
For the
mongooses.
rest of your
Because their perception stat tends to be
day.
extremely high, they will often target you before you spotted them, leaving very little time to prepare defense or escape. However, because their power stat
I haven't
tends to
played
be
Fall Guys in a
lower,
while.
often there is a bit of time between the initial strike and the
Yo,
actual
this
kill. Meaning
whoever
if your team can rally quick
this
enough,
TierZoo
they
guy
may
is,
actually be
you
able
know,
to save you from an attack.
you a gamer
So
for
once
real.
again, while technically quite a difficult matchup,
Or maybe he's
skilled
not, he
players
just
with
looks up
reliable
gaming
teammates should be
gaming
able to
stuff.
hold their own. Drawing comparisons
Nah,
to similarly
I'm
sized
sure he's a
solo
gamer.
builds like the Weasel and Ferret, their matchup against an avian attacker is a lot more hopeless. This is essentially the story of the mongoose.
Can't
Overall, avian
tell.
attacker is
I don't think I've seen this many before. I feel like I have seen it before. It's a little UI.
a lot
I
more
don't know.
hopeless.
What game is
This
this
is
from?
essentially the story of the mongoose. Overall, it has an unimpressive set of stats and abilities, but because the abilities it does have are primarily focused on enabling team strategies, a troop of skilled mongoose maidens can often be far more successful than you would expect from such an underwhelming build. Overall, I'm gonna have to give the mongoose a mid-tier rating. It has no severe flaws holding it back, but imagine how overpowered a clan of mongoose players would be if it actually had any busted abilities. Like with the mongoose, when a group of individuals functions as one unified, cohesive team,
You know what I always like wonder is where is animal penises at? You know, like these small animals. Like I know these people have these animals have sex, like the mongoose, but I'm just looking and I can't see a penis anywhere. Like it's just small. So like how are they like doing anything? You know.
it can look pretty
That's
impressive.
what I wanna know.
It can be a spectacle to
What's
watch.
going on there?
However, one thing that may be even more fun
Not saying I
want
wanna
is
see
when one
see
player
them
on a
have
team
sex, but
is
you know.
trying to subtly sabotage the group's efforts. I was recently
Can't see
on a
anything.
hilarious game show with this exact premise. I know it's weird to think of me as a filthy try-hard
That's-
human
is this
rather
you?
than an omniscient disembodied voice, but it's true, I do exist in corporeal form. The incredibly talented team at Wendover
That you?
Productions and Jet Like the Game
Are you from Australia? I don't know. But this is an ad, so you know the video is done. But anyways, W video from TierZoo as always. Our Mongooses OP. Pretty much every animal got something going with them, you know. Every animal got some perks, you know, disadvantages, advantages, you know. Got little squads going on, you know, working together with other animals, other different types of animals, you know. But you know, are they OP? Who knows? To some, and to some they're OP, and to others they're not, you know. It's obvious, but anyways, that is it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like on this video, subscribe for more content, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.